Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Duine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. I am your host today, Jordan Comstock, and we don't have Ben today. He is out on a personal day. But today, I have a wonderful friend and influencer in this space. His name is Billy Parra. Billy, what is up, brother?
How are you doing today? Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, man, it's always fun hanging out with you, brother.
It's never a dull moment.
It's never a dull moment, no. Billy and I just, we were hanging out at the Hinman in Atlanta, Georgia. What was that, last week? I lose track of where I'm at. Last week I was in Hinman. Was that 2 weeks ago? Whatever it was.
2 weeks ago.
I keep getting lost because I just came back from California and I'm getting ready to go to Arizona. So I'm lost when things happen, right?
It's not always glamour the way I say. You know?
It's not always glamour. All this travel, it's hard. So let's talk a little bit about you, Billy. You came from the restaurant industry, and now your position now is the director of sales for Select Merchant Solutions, which is a company based out of Florida. And you cover the self-storage, the dental vertical, the veterinarian, and optometry vertical. And you basically help practices save money with their merchant fees. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah, we hope businesses from a dental practice to a self-storage facility and thereon to lower their fees on their merchant processing, and it basically will save them thousands per year without any added cost.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because we all know that merchant fees are like the devil, right? Almost like dental insurance. Seems like
they're necessary.
Exactly. I use merchant fees all the time in my company. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. It's like what you use. I believe you use Stripe. In your background.
Yep. We use
Stripe. Has an agreement with a certain merchant processor, and that kind of forces the hand of the merchant to have to use them, and that's why those rates are ridiculously high.
Yeah. So let's talk. We're going to talk about a few things today. So we're going to talk about just rates and how to spot the best rates and what your real rate is, and then Billy is also going to talk and educate us about his seminar he's doing called The Revenue Pie, and then he's going to give us a few tips and tricks of the merchant world. So let's start with the first question, Billy. How do you spot what your real all-in rate is with a merchant company?
So it's truly easy math. Once merchants, they get misled sometimes by merchant processing companies, because a lot of merchant processing companies just try to get as much out of a client as possible, because that helps the salesperson earn a higher commission.
Okay, yeah.
So they'll tease somebody by saying, we'll put most of your cards at 1.7% all in. And then they say, the other cards we'll put at these other rates, and, don't worry about that too much. So they kind of make you think you're going to be at a much lower rate than you are.
Yeah.
So what they do, they'll get a merchant statement that you already have, and then they'll look at it and they'll say, okay, I see what they're doing here. I see what they're doing here. I'll say this to this person here to grab them. In other words, it's always, most of the time, it's a bait and switch.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You'll be at 1.7, and then they'll put other cards at 2.5 and other cards at 2.9. And all of a sudden, most of your cards are at the 2.5 rate. And it's called
averages
pricing or bucket pricing.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible, terrible way to get the best way to do it is the way we do it, and it's called interchange pass-through pricing.
Okay.
And I would suggest everybody just Googles that.
Yeah. Could you give us the
actual cost of the cards? All the 600 different rates are out there. The actual cost is passed straight through to the client, and then the processor adds a little bit on top to make, to actually make a little bit of money.
Of course, yeah. Which, I mean, everybody needs to make money, right?
So to get your all-in rate, and back to that original question, is you take your total fees for a certain month and divide it by your total credit card sales volume for that month, and that is your real all-in rate. So they can say that you're at 1.7, and you start doing the math. You do that math, and you're at 2.6, 2.7%.
Yeah.
That is what your real all-in rate, and that is much too high.
So say that form.
A dental. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, Billy. Say the formula again. I'm writing it down because I want to do this on my own too.
Okay. All right. So you take the total fees that you were charged for the month.
Okay.
Make sure it's for the same month as the total sales, the total credit card sales.
Okay.
So total fees divided by total credit card sales equals the all-in rate. So that includes all the fees, everything that was on there.
Equals all-in rate.
If it's, if it's over 2%, you should have somebody take a look at it. Because most of our dental practices are in the 1.8, 1.7% range.
Okay, very cool.
And I see most merchants right now, especially dental, in about 2.6 rate.
Okay, on average.
It's too high.
Yeah, so you can get it down. You recommend 2% is ideal. Lower, better if you can.
2% is usually what I see.
Yeah, okay.
But what I suggest is, even if people don't use my services, is to every few months do that same math, total fees divided by total credit card sales, and see if it starts sliding upwards. Because what they'll usually do, they'll put you in at an introductory rate, and they start raising rates on you over time.
Really?
And most people don't want to look at that. And then all of a sudden you're talking 8-9 months later, and like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like at 1.7. Now I'm at 2.6. And
wow.
1.7 to 2.6, that's almost a percentage point.
It's
percentage point on $1 million in sales is real money.
Yeah, it's tons of top line gross revenue. That's what it is from the practice.
Exactly. It's all about keeping more profit.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Every dollar counts. Every half percentage counts, right?
Exactly. And then dentists are business owners, but sometimes they don't get taught the backside of the business, the actual, cost to profit ratios and all the different things that are so important in actually keeping more money in their pocket.
Yeah. I got a side question for you, Billy. So on our platform we have ACH, and I believe the fee on that is like 0.7%, so not even a 0.5%. Is that pretty typical what you see out there with ACH type fees versus credit card fees?
ACH type fees can be set by the processor at almost anything they want.
Okay, I see.
Actual cost on ACH fees, depending on how big the processor is, we charge 20 cents per, no matter the volume.
Oh, I see. So it's just a flat fee. What you guys do is 20 cents.
It's a flat fee, and a lot of other people just, if you run an ACH or check through your thing, we'll put you at this rate. But you start adding that up, that's high as heck. That's very, very high.
Yeah.
So
I like the 20 cents.
What I try to say is always negotiate with your current processor because they don't want to lose you.
Yeah, of course. Nobody wants to lose any business, so always negotiate with processors. Yeah, I love that. So, and just always ask, right? And it's simple as saying, "Hey, what we're doing this much with your merchant company. Can you give us a better deal?" Basically, just asking them, right? Is that the best way to approach it?
Yeah, but I would not do it as a closed-ended question. I would do it open-ended. So
okay.
I recommend you act like a 5-year-old and go, "Why are our rates this high? Why is this?"
Yeah. I love it.
Let them come to you. Be persistent and say why. Because if you say, "Can you lower my rate?" They'll say, "Yeah, of course."
And then
really
lower point.
Leave it open-ended and go,
yeah.
Why is this? Why am I being charged this?
Yeah.
Why?
Leave it open-ending questions when you're reaching out. Okay. Easy. Why am I getting charged this? Why why this? Why that?
Why is this annual fee this much?
Yeah.
Then you start to know, like, whoa, hey, hello.
Yeah, I love that. Sweet. Okay, let's move on to the next question, Billy. So let's kind of get in the details. So who gets paid for each credit card transaction when they run it through the service?
All right. So on the credit card fees themselves, it's called the interchange rate. Excuse me. And it doesn't matter if you're Walmart or Joe's Little Hot Dog Stand.
Uh-huh.
The cost of the cards that your customers use is exactly the same for both. There's
Okay.
no, just because Walmart does billions of dollars and Joe's Hot Dog Stand does $20,000 a year, the cost of the card that their clients use, the type of card, is exactly the same.
Really?
So I believe last time I looked, there's, I think, 800 or 600 plus different rates. So in other words, a debit card, a regular credit card, a rewards card, a business card, a gift card, and how it's used, they all have different rates.
Really? Man, I had no idea.
The best you can do, and always ask, I tell all my clients, always ask for debit card. Because debit card is set by the government at 0.05% and 22 cents a transaction.
Okay.
There's a few instances where you don't get that. That's if a bank does less volume, I think less than so many billions of dollars. I can't remember exactly, but 0.05% and 22 cents is extremely low. The next level up is 1.15%. I mean, that's
Wow.
huge.
That's
difference.
a huge difference, yeah.
So debit cards is the way to go. Always ask. You know, what I teach a lot of my self-storage and dental clients is when the client comes to pay, it says, which debit card do you want to use? You know, that kind of opens the, hey, maybe I'll put it on the debit card. So, but anyway, that's the best rate for you. So
0.05.
Walmart,
Yeah.
Walt Disney, Joe's Hot Dog Stand pay exactly the same for those rates. Nothing can be done about that.
Why is
So,
that? Why is that? Is that just set by the government, like you said?
That's set by the government. There's no regulation in this business for it to become a processor like we are.
Uh-huh.
Like an insurance, you have to have an insurance license.
Of course,
certain regulations. So the only negotiable piece, so Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, they make a teeny little piece of every single transaction. That's the second person that gets paid.
Oh, okay.
The first person that gets paid is the bank that issues the credit card.
Uh-huh.
So say your local bank issues a credit card or a rewards card or something like that. They get about 90% of the fees.
Really?
So they're making good money. Oh yeah, it's incredible. So they're making money on, say, to make it easy, say it's 2%. That bank is keeping 90% of that 2%.
Okay, I
Visa,
get it.
MasterCard, Discover, and Amex, they all get a teeny percentage, but of the billions and billions of transactions.
Yeah,
that happen
holy
every single day.
smokes.
Loads of transactions.
Yeah, that's
and then
insane.
the third party and it's the only negotiable piece is what the processor adds, like what we do. We're a merchant processor. Your local bank is a merchant processor. That's the only negotiable piece. So people think that the merchant processor is making all the money. They're actually not.
Yeah.
The banks.
So the processors are the last guy with the smallest piece of the pie, I'm assuming.
Smallest piece of the pie, and that's why a lot of merchant processors just hire. It's like a job mill. They'll bring somebody in because they know some people, and they'll get their friends to sign up with them, and then and then people start leaving because their rates go up, and then it's just a thing of where do I get? How can I get more customers? And then what they'll do is they'll lease equipment to the client. So a typical good merchant processing terminal, my cost is $180, $189. So what we do, we give it away for free. We give one away for free. And we charge costs for the others.
For the others, yeah.
What I've seen is some egregious examples of these leases where they'll charge $24 a month for a terminal for 4 years.
Yeah.
For something that costs $189.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is that salesperson has to get as much as they can out of that one
client
merchant.
Okay.
What we do is we have thousands and thousands of clients, so we charge very little, make very little, but we make money that way. That's the way we look at it. So, the leasing of equipment, and then there's a bunch of junk fees that, it's hard to put into a verbal discussion, but there's sometimes the annual fee is inflated.
Yeah.
They put these card on protection things. There's just a lot of ways for them to make money off of the client. So if the client will send me or any other processor a full statement, we can actually see what they charge. But what we do in the difference is I already tell my client, my prospective client, what I'm going to charge above the cost, the actual that 90% and the visa part. I tell them before I even look at a merchant statement, because I can't play the game of, I have a client of mine that I'm saving them $24,000 a year on their credit cards.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten a statement and saved them $12,000 a year. They would have been thrilled with that. And I would have pocketed the difference.
Oh, yeah,
The thing is, I'd rather just be honest. You should be honest from the beginning. Tell them exactly what you're going to charge, all the fees, and get the client that way.
Yeah, no.
Those clients don't leave you.
No, I agree 100% with that. And that's just good business in general, right? Like if we're at BoomCloud, we're transparent with what we charge, our clients for our software. Same thing, Ben's the same way. If you're not like that, you like you said, people lose trust with you fast and they don't stay with you, right? So it's better to be honest and helpful to clients and people you're working with, because that's when it really pays off, right? I love that.
Truly.
That's why I like your mindset. Go ahead. Sorry.
Merchant processors, unfortunately, are looked at almost like used car salesmen, because I can guarantee you, all the people that are going to listen to this podcast that have a merchant account get a call at least once a week from some merchant processing company saying they're going to save them money.
Yeah.
And so it becomes noise to these people. And what I suggest, people that would listen to this podcast do, if somebody calls their office and goes, "Hey, we're going to lower your fees. I want to look at your statement," just to tell them, I already do my own merchant processing.
Any company
can be. Now, I already I own my own merchant processing company.
Oh.
So that's gonna stop that conversation flat. You'll get other calls from other people, but that person will probably not call back again. That's what I used to do at my restaurant. I used to say that. It's like, I already own my own company.
And then they stop calling you.
I'm not going to cheat myself.
I'm not going to cheat myself. Yeah, they know you know the business, right? What'd you say that?
Even if you don't know the business, how can you argue against that?
Yeah, of course.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good tip. So, awesome. So, did we talked about the types of rates that are merchant processing? Was that the bank credit card processor? Okay, we went through that. So let's talk a little bit about your event, Billy, here in later this year in Atlanta, Georgia, right? That's where you're planning on doing it?
Yeah.
So
it's June 14th in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. And the name of the event is the Revenue Pie Seminar?
The Revenue Pie, how to keep a bigger slice.
How to keep a bigger slice. I like it. So yeah, let's give us a rundown of your event there.
So I started this same type of event in the veterinary vertical. And it's basically what we bring in is people that will help dental practice. And I said they're business owners. Sometimes they're not taught cost to profit ratios and how to maximize, cost to revenue, and find different softwares or different ways to actually keep more money. So we did that. We bring somebody in like a CPA or a financial planner or, different software companies that help maximize putting, butts in seats.
Yeah.
Putting people in your chair. And then after putting those people in the chair, getting them back. And so that transaction that, say you charge that client, to make an easy number, $150, how much of that $150 are you actually keeping at the end of the day?
After merchant fees and everything?
So if you can, and after merchant fees, after
insurance,
your software run, insurance, how the process works to get that person back. It's how the front office deals with that client, how the front of the house deals with that client. So the client feels like, hey, I really want to come back here. People don't like to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
But if you make the experience them much more palatable, and then on your side, decide, okay, that $150 that I charged right now is costing me $130 in total costs. If you can lower it 5% or even 10%, and in the veterinary industry, we were averaging about 10% savings after our seminars. 10%, it's a good chunk of change.
Oh yeah.
So still charge that $150, but it costs you $120 or $115 to do versus $130. that's when you start to make money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, it's all. I mean, you have to keep your practice. You have to pay all your hard costs, your labor, you know, your rent,
Yeah.
everything.
Every
So
little
you can
cost.
find different little ways to, hey, I can lower it here this much. And it's not that difficult. It's not going to cost me hardly anything. That's when your ROI, your return on investment of buying a software or doing a membership, you know, with a company like BoomCloud or Dental Intelligence, that's when you really start to keep more money, keep a bigger slice of the pie.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. So who's going to be speaking at your event there in Atlanta?
Well, it's going to be hosted by Deborah Engelhart Nash, who's a internationally known coach, dental coach.
Deborah's awesome.
Incredible. She speaks about how to keep the front of the house fantastic, the back of the house running, and then she's going to basically weave us into the narrative. So I'm going to speak about what we just spoke about. You know, There's all little tips and tricks. What's your all-in rate? What can you find out? How can you lower your fees? Then we have Andres Romero, who's a certified financial planner, who's going to show the dentist, you know, maybe I should buy the building, even though the cost may look high right now, but in the long term it's better. How can I keep more money through, you know, different avenues to save money or keep more of my hard-earned income? We have a CPA is going to show a little different tricks, you know, how to do this. We have, you know, your company is going to show people how to deal with insurance and get rid of that, you know, just to. And if you take each one of those components, a company like Weave, like a couple like Care Credit will help you, you know, help finance other people that can't be financed. If you start to add all those little tips and tricks up, you are going to make more money because your cost to revenue is going to be less.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's the entire premise of the revenue pie, how to lower that cost and keep it consistently lower.
That's awesome. So our listeners, where can they find out about your event? You got a website for it?
The website is www.therevenuepie.com.
Cool. I'll make sure I put
that.
If
they go to that website, they can kind of, you know, see what the basics about the event. They can sign up for the event right then and there. We're running a special at $69 per attendee through May 1st. After that's $99.
Okay.
So we figure it's a worthy investment of $69.
Oh yeah.
To hopefully increase your profitability by 10, 15, or 20%.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially with Deborah there. Deborah's awesome. She's a good friend of mine and yours, Billy. She's part of ADMC, which is a group that both Billy and I are a part of, called the Academy of Dental Management Consultants. Very, very, very good, high quality type people group. So, all right, Billy, that was about your event. Now, if somebody wants to reach out to you to get help with their credit card machines inside the office, what's the best way for them to reach out to you? Do you have a website that they can go to, a phone number, whatever you want to share with it now?
I've got basically 3 ways for them, and it's like I say, they're going to save thousands per year without any added cost. We don't charge for equipment. We don't raise rates once they're after us. We show them actual costs.
That's awesome.
So our website is www.selectmerchantsolutions.com. They can also text dental, the word dental, DENTAL, to 321-244-3031, and that will send. They will receive my actual brochure, which talks about how we do things. It's got my email address.
Cool.
We don't sell that information. You know, we'll have their phone number, but we're not going to be calling them all the time. Like, why aren't you doing business with us? I hate that. And lastly, my email address is Billy, BILLY, at selectmerchantsolutions.com. And again, reach out to me if somebody would, you know, reach out to us. Let us save you some money, or let us show you how to save money. It's the thing. It's not about trying to make as much money on my side, because having thousands of clients, that's how we make a little bit of money. So we make very little off each client, but with thousands of clients, that's how you stay in business.
Yeah, no, I
once
can
again,
agree.
last thing is therevenuepie.com. Please, we'd love to have attendees in either Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia to come. It's going to be more than well worth it. Even if, like say, if you save 5% per year on your costs, you're talking for a $69 investment.
That's a good ROI. That's a good ROI, if you ask me.
Yeah, it truly is. Truly is.
Awesome, Billy. Well, I appreciate you coming on my show today. I absolutely love Billy. So anyone listening, reach out to Billy and get help with your credit card processing in the office, and he'll hook you up. He is a great friend and a trusted source by everyone at the ADMC. So, everyone, thanks for listening to our show today. If you have questions for me or comments or ideas for the show, please reach out to me. You can email me at Jordon, Jordon, at boomcloudapps.com. Again, thanks for listening to the show today. Everyone, have a good one.